Kotlin Scope Functions. Kotlin has 5 scope functions that can make your code 50% shorter and much cleaner. They are let, run, with, apply, and also. Every Kotlin developer uses them daily, but many developers pick the wrong one. By the end of this video, you will understand each one perfectly. You will know exactly when to use let versus apply versus run. Let's get started. So what is a scope function? A scope function takes an object and executes a block of code in its context. Inside the block, you can access the object without typing its name. All 5 scope functions differ in 2 important ways. First, how they refer to the object, either as it or as this. Second, what they return, either the lambda result or the object itself. Understanding these 2 differences is the key to choosing the right one. Let is the most common scope function. It refers to the object as it and returns the lambda result. The most popular use is null save calls. You write the variable $.let in a code block. If the value is null, the entire block is skipped. If the value is not null, it runs with the non-null value. No more verbose if null checks. This pattern alone will clean up half your Kotlin code. You can also chain let calls for transformations. Each let takes the previous result and transforms it into something new. For example, filter a list, then let takes the filtered list and computes its sum. You can rename it to a custom name like filtered for clarity. This creates a clean data pipeline where each step has a clear purpose. Run is similar to let, but with one key difference. Inside run, the object becomes this. You access properties and methods directly without a prefix, just like you are writing code inside the class itself. Run also returns the lambda result, so use run when you need to compute a value from an object. For example, you can call user.run and access name and email directly to build a greeting string. Let's compare let and run side by side. Let uses it to refer to the object. Run uses this. Both return the lambda result, not the object. So when should you pick one over the other? Use let when you need to pass the object to other functions, because it is explicit. Use run when you want to call many properties and methods on the object, because this lets you skip the prefix. With is the only scope function that is not an extension function. Instead, you pass the object as a parameter, with, parentheses, the object, then a code block. Inside the block, you use this to access properties directly. With is best for grouping multiple operations on the same object. For example, use with on a string builder to call append multiple times without repeating the variable name. Apply uses this to access the object, just like run and with. But here is the critical difference. Apply returns the object itself, not the lambda result. This makes apply perfect for configuring objects. You create a new object, call apply, set all the properties inside the block, and the whole expression evaluates to the configured object. This is the most common pattern for object initialization in Kotlin. Also uses it to refer to the object, just like let, but also returns the object itself, not the lambda result. Think of also as adding a side effect without changing the chain. Use also for logging, printing, debugging, or validation. The object passes through unchanged. You can insert also anywhere in a chain to inspect intermediate values without breaking the flow. Here is the complete comparison table. This is the most important slide in this video. Let and also use it to reference the object. Run, with, and apply use this. Now for the return value. Let, run, and with return the lambda result. Apply and also return the object. Save this table. It answers the question, which scope function should I use? Still not sure which to pick? Follow these simple decision rules. Need to configure an object? Use apply, because it returns the object with properties set. Need to log or debug? Use also, because it passes the object through unchanged. Need a null check? Use let with the safe call operator. Need to compute a result from an object? Use run. Need to group multiple calls on the same object? Use with. Let's see apply in a real-world scenario. The builder pattern is very common in Kotlin. You create a config object and call apply to set all the properties: host, port, debug mode, and max retries. The result is the fully configured object assigned directly to a variable. Without apply, you would need 5 separate lines. With apply, it is one clean expression. Here is let in a real-world null-safe chain. You call the variable with $.let. If the value is null, the entire chain skips safely. Inside the block, it is guaranteed to be non-null. At the end, you can add an else operator to provide a default value. This pattern replaces messy if-else null checks with one clean expression. Run is great for computing a result from a nullable object. Call $.run on a nullable variable. Inside the block, you access properties directly with this. You can build a string, calculate a value, or validate data. If the object is null, the run block is skipped, and you provide a fallback with the else operator. This avoids long if-else chains. The real power comes when you combine scope functions and chains. Here is a common pattern. Create an object with apply to set properties, then chain also to validate it. Each function in the chain has one responsibility. Apply handles configuration, also handles validation. The result is clean, readable code where each step does exactly one thing. Watch out for these common mistakes that many Kotlin developers make. First, do not overuse scope functions. A simple if null check is sometimes clearer than let. Second, do not nest scope functions deeply. 3 levels of let inside. Let is a nightmare to read. Third, do not confuse apply with let. Apply returns the object, not the lambda result. If you write string.apply length, you get the string back, not the number 5. Use let or run to get the result. Look at this before and after comparison. The before code repeats the variable name on every line. User.name equals Alex. User.email equals something. User.age equals 25. Then print user.name. The after code uses apply to configure and also to log. Same logic, half the code. The variable name appears only once. This is the power of scope functions in real Kotlin projects. In the next video, we will cover sealed classes, enum classes, and value classes. These are powerful tools for modeling your data in Kotlin. They work great with expressions for exhaustive pattern matching. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you do not miss it. Thanks for watching this video on Kotlin Scope Functions. If you found it helpful, give it a like. Check out the full article at kemalcodes.com for more examples, code snippets, and a printable cheat sheet. See you in the next one.